In this video, we're going to continue to discuss the Mahler 1 bass solo from the third movement. So what's happening here in this third movement is Mahler is making an homage to a funeral march. And so the marking at the top of the page, underneath the movement marking is, and pardon my German, feierlich und gemessen ohne zu schleppen. I don't think I pronounced that correctly, but what it translates to in English is solemnly and measured without dragging. So it's a funeral march, and it is something that the very beginning of the movement is the march far away, and it's coming closer. So the first instrument we hear is timpani, playing D, A, D, A, D, for two measures, and then the bass solo comes in. So it's as if the funeral march is slowly getting closer to the audience in the form of more instruments being added, more bright instruments being added. So we have timpani playing softly, then bass coming in next. It continues past the end of the bass solo, and so we need to make sure we don't slow down as we get to the end, and we don't speed up, because the tempo throughout this section is going to stay pretty much rock solid. So I'll play the solo just to review and show you how I like to finger it. There are many other examples of how to finger it, and we've talked about that in previous videos. But just to review how I like it to go. On that last measure that I do, that's a specific choice I'm making because another instrument has come in there and I want to change the sound that I'm making to help them cut through. I won't give any spoilers on what instrument that is. So we have timpani, we have bass. That's all that's happening so far. It's marked piano. We have long slurs over things, little commas between the measures. But the resonance should be continuing, and we shouldn't be putting any breaks. It's just a very simple D minor version of Fervajaka. Now I want to play through the solo with you playing the solo, and I'm going to play the timpani part on my bass so that you can hear how steady it really needs to be to fit together contextually. So remember, there's going to be two measures of introduction with the timpani. That's 8 notes. I'll play D, A, D, A, then again D, A, D, A, then you come in. I'll give a little nod. It would be great to note the time in the video here so that you can come back to here if you ever want to play together with me in the future or right away as soon as you finish. So remember, we are solemn and measured, but not dragging. 2 measures of introduction. And then the piece continues. So feel free to slow that down if you like by adjusting the speed in the YouTube video. That was probably about as fast as I would play it normally. I'm sure there are recordings that take it faster, and I am sure that there are recordings that take it slower. There is an option to play this solo as a section solo. There is a theory that Mahler actually intended that when he wrote this piece, and then he changed it later simply because of the requirements at the time for the orchestra or for the hall. But no matter what happens, always solemn and measured without dragging. So that is the character that we're going for with this funeral march. Feel free to ask me any questions you might have about this excerpt in the comments below, and happy practicing.